I think that there's a perception that everyone has out there, that most people have, that everyone else is using AI and they're the only person that isn't, because you see it everywhere that you look, right? There's a story here, there's a story there. You're being told, if you're on social media, you're being told by every other influencer, if you're not using AI now, you're toast. It's funny because most of the people that we talk to, when we kind of take them down the beginning of this journey with a Delphi clone, they're either like stuck between this fear of missing out or fear of jumping in. A lot of them just don't know where to start. And one of the things that's really cool about what we're going to talk about today is Delphi and AI cloning is such a great starting point for someone. But also, if you look at the data, if you look at the statistics, if you are listening to the show right now and you are interested in AI and learning more and you're starting to play with it and you're starting to use with it, you are ahead of so like it's crazy how far ahead you are. This week, ChatGPT shared that there are 3 million companies that are using that tool. ChatGPT, 3 million companies. There's 360 million companies in the world. That's 0.8%. That's not 8%, it's 0.8%. And if you take a look at the latest Goldman Sachs study, it showed that only 6.1% of companies in the United States actually use AI and have a strategy in their business. So if you're listening now, like now is the right time, because the people who are investing the time and the energy to learn how to use it and beginning to use tools like a Delphi clone are the people in 5 years that are going to be just crushing and light years ahead of the competition.
It's tough to see it. I think that's what we want to
Yeah.
kind of dismantle a little bit, or basically show you a bunch of pictures of how it's being used currently in our businesses, our business together, also others that we're working with, and some of the trends, because it's not just all Delphi, of course. It's everything. I mean, AI is early. It's obviously the most powerful thing that I think we were all going to experience in our lifetime, at least as of yet. And the trajectory is just crazy. But yeah, it's like the last thing you want to do is sit in the sidelines and just think about it or be scared of it. It's okay to be both of those because I am. I think I chatted with my buddy Matt Wolf the other day, and he's like, honestly, he's like, I love AI, but I'm also equally as fearful of what can happen with AI. He's like, he's excited, but at the same time, but the key is you got to play the game. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but if you play the game, then you're at least you're setting yourself up to win in the future.
Well, and when you talk about being fearful of it, so I think that I break it down into two pieces. So I'm fearful of where AI is going to be in 10 years. And what does that mean to me? And what does that mean to my kids? And what does that mean to my business? And then there's the fearful that people experience every day today when trying to use AI and maybe a new tool for the first time. So, one of the crazy statistics that I saw at the beginning of the year was that somewhere between 90 and 95% of people who subscribe to use an AI tool, an AI business tool, actually never push it live. And so what happens, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. So what happens is they get excited because they hear about it or the promise, and then they sign up. And once they sign up and they get into the back end, they kind of like they freeze and they just don't know how to do it yet. And that's not necessarily on them. This is all really new stuff. And so for the past, ChatGPT came out November 30th, 2023, if we're 2.5 years into this, most of the money in terms of developing cool stuff that people can use has gone into the big, large language models like the ChatGPTs of the world. And the business tools, as a result, they've been, people are building these things, but they've been spending their money on the tech. They haven't been spending their money on making it necessarily easy to use or providing customer service or onboarding, which is really where you and I came together. And that's what created this opportunity.
And you nailed it. Actually, that's perfect, because we find ourselves in between. I guess it's the human and the technology,
Yeah.
and we're kind of this interface where we can support people in onboarding on this tool that they are interested in. And this tool for us is Delphi, and it's essentially the model of our business. And we could break this down, but yeah, like I feel like the people skills are the soft skills, more or less. matter almost more right now, because it is this onboarding of, it's like an understanding. We help them paint pictures of what's possible, but also then we help them prioritize what's going to move the needle the most in your business when we create one of these together. It's not necessarily creating something brand new and trying to go a different course. It's like, hey, let's double down on what's really working well for you right now and leverage this amazing technology to get there. And we are the team that concierge their way to this AI future using Delphi in this sense, and like scaling themselves ultimately. That's what we're working on.